Good evening. Happy Monday. And welcome to Manic Mondays with Miss K on Attorney Vincent Davis's platform, where parents can come and tell their maniacal stories about corruption with CPS and the journey within. Today, I have two very special guests, but before I introduce them, I'd like to, as always, take a moment of silence for our brothers and sisters that have fallen, those that are sick and suffering, and for those that are still coming back. So, again, I'm your host, Miss K, for Manic Mondays with Miss K on Attorney Vincent Davis's platform. And today we have Mr. Bob Pace, who was another liaison for Mr. Davis. He has his own show that streams 7 days a week at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that would be, I think, what is it? 1 p.m. our time. Oh, sorry, 7 p.m. 7, right? 7
That's on
p.m. Eastern
Pacific Standard
Pacific
Time.
Standard
Pacific.
Time and 10 p.m. our time, Eastern Standard Time. I apologize, Bob.
Right.
And then we have Michelle, who is a parent warrior who has a lot of gems and jewels she'll be dropping today. So, as always, parents, never give up the fight. Innocence is worth it. Every ounce of sweat, every drop of blood, every breath we take, those are the only two things that we have in life that are priceless and perfect. So, as far as Mr. Bob Pace, again, he is a parent warrior as well. He has his story that he had, hired Mr. Davis for. And guys, if you want to get in touch with Mr. Davis, the number is at the bottom of the screen. And as always, this information given is for educational purposes only. There are no lawyers right now present. Although I am an attorney, I am not practicing right now. So I'll let Bob start off by telling a little bit about his story and his maniacal walk with CPS.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Bob.
Um, yep. Thank you for having me, KK. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Michelle. I've been doing this now for 24 months. It marks my 25th month, over 2 years. And
Yes.
I have been talking about what I call the Child Protection System, CPS. It's found in every county, in every state, and in countries around the world. This is international live stream, so it's worldwide. And I've talked to
Yes.
over 2,800 people in 24 countries. And my case was terrible. It's been going on. I've been fighting CPS for 15 years. It started with me in 2010 when, unfortunately, I lost a job through no fault of my own. And at age 60, I was concerned.
Hard to get
Um,
work at that age,
you know,
right? After that age, it's hard to get work.
yeah.
I understand.
So I was concerned. I was really concerned. And unbeknownst to me, that I was being investigated. I mean, I knew who they were, I meant, but I didn't know how it's reported. There's two kinds of reporting people: lay people and professional people. And
And can you
apparently,
just describe I'm sorry, Bob, can you just describe to our viewers what the differences are?
yeah, sure. CPS, which started in '62, mandated that social services create a group of social workers that they would protect from neglect and abuse. Well, professional people are like your doctors and nurses and teachers, and they're those are the professional people reporting, but they only get it right half of the time, 50%. The layperson are the other people, your family, relatives, your neighbor down the street, the guy next door, and so forth. Well, apparently, I did not know who was reporting alleges that we were not taking care of children correctly. I have 6 children, and I have 43 years of marriage, and a long time working. I have over 61 years of working, and I
What was your
unfortunately,
allegation, Bob, if you don't mind? Can you
oh
just tell
sure,
us?
they couldn't figure it out for 5 years, but they finally came up with something in there, and the allegation was neglect, and it's because when my mom and dad had passed away, I'd taken their belongings. They had like a long time of marriage. They had 55 years of marriage, and so they had a lot of baggage. And so they wanted me to get rid of their things. My dad had passed away. My mom was still hanging in there, but I, at that time with no job, I had no way of putting stuff in storage, and so I carted all the stuff down to from Central California down to Southern California. And because I had the belongings in my home stacked, and I had a
Hoarding.
huge home,
They
I had
said
a huge,
hoarding, right? Hoarding. You were cluttered.
and they were sitting there saying they were in danger, not hoarding, they were endangering the the well-being of my children. My children each had their own bedroom upstairs, their own bathroom, and it really wasn't affected them upstairs. Furniture cannot fly upstairs and attack children, and it certainly can't. But because there's boxes downstairs, the only room that was impacted was the living room. And the living room was big enough to take my parents' things, and one by one, I would box things or sort things and send them off to family and friends. So they said that you are being charged with neglect. And they felt it was necessary to take my three children who weren't in danger. They took them out of school. One was in a private school, the other two were good public schools. And they right away took them to a shelter, put them in danger, and then moved them into relatives. We had a team meeting and we were able to put with my wife's sister and her husband.
Bob, can
And
I ask? Can
he,
I ask a question?
sure.
During this time of the removal, prior to this removal, when they originally came to you with the allegations, did they give you any services or any other alternatives prior to this removal?
Well, no, not really. We were bringing up that we were native. I have a native Indian background, and I was trying to enforce Wicca. Now,
Right.
I didn't know what Wicca is. The Indian Welfare Act of 1978,
Yep.
the Indian Child Welfare Act. It's called ICWA. Anyway, that's where they turn over the children if you have Native Indian blood. And I have 25% of Native Indian blood. So my children have blood in there. And so um, the thing was is that right off the bat, I didn't have attorney at the moment because I didn't know you needed one. And I was trying to fight with my own. I was using their court-appointed attorney, which was worthless.
First.
And I was trying to you know, uh, fight them from the director, the manager, the supervisor, and they just weren't listening. They are very corrupt. They're very one-sided, and the
I can.
entity was the Orange County Social Child Protection Services. Anyway, in that county, I did not know how corrupt they were, but they were. They really were. And when my meeting was to have them, they were saying, "Well, we're going to have reunification." I said, "Okay."
So
And
did they give you I'm sorry, Bob. I'm just, I want to chime in here and there. I apologize. But did you have
sure,
visits at that time?
except with my daughter. My wife had visits with my daughter, but my other two boys, we both had visits to see my other two boys. And we tried to see as much as possible, but they kept making it more difficult. See, as time goes on, the more you ruffle their feathers, the more
The more
you
restricted
show
they
them where
get.
they're wrong, they're going to sit there and make your life miserable. Well, they refused me to have any relationship with my daughter,
Mm.
and
And
that
what was
was
the
the week.
basis of that? Like, did they have any, legal grounds to say that, you
No,
were a
no, it's
danger or a safe?
their typical MO of the Orange County child the child protection services is to round up your child. You see, I did not know you can't allow them in your home, so I let them in
Right.
my home, and they said we want to take your children, and I didn't know they could only take them if they're in danger. I would have fought on that, but like anything else, I said I have nothing to hide. So they
Right.
were trying to alienate my children from us family. And this is mother and father. Now, we found out later, long after later, that the allegations were made by my wife's mother, father, their her three sisters, and a brother. And they're false allegations. They're ridiculous. Like we didn't have any utilities on, or we didn't feed the children, we didn't take them to school. And I showed them their grade reports. I showed them the utility bills, and our home was very nice, very well to do, and it was only a mile from the beach, and As I say, each child had their own bedroom and so forth. They had a place to study, a place to eat. The cupboards were full of food, and the bills were being paid. That wasn't the issue. And uh, apparently, they were a very frustrated agency. They were just trying to look up something in there. So it got worse as time went on. It got worse and worse. Till I finally had to get an attorney. That's when I hired Mr. Davis.
Yes.
And I had to, sell my home. I had to do a quick sell my home. So I sold my home to get money to pay Mr. Davis because I just didn't have any other income source. And I wanted my children back. But I did not know that the social worker would be revengeful. And what they did eventually is that she was caught lying in court. She committed perjury.
And this is
And
where Miss Michelle comes in too. And this is
yeah,
why I let you start your story, because I wanted your story to be piggybacked off of exactly
sure.
why she's here today.
Okay, well
So
then let me go ahead and turn it over to Michelle.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to come, I
Sure.
wanted to be
Go ahead.
mindful that these are things that we as parents, we battle with within this system. And if we
Uh-huh.
didn't have, sorry, excuse me, if we didn't have any each other to, lean on, we would be lost. Mr. Davis has, drastically changed my life. He is an amazing man. And then Bob, I've been following you. And Michelle, another parent warrior, has reached out to me after me commenting on something she posted as far as CPS accountability or lack thereof. So,
Right.
Michelle, I'm going to let you, kind of piggyback on the accountability and what you have going on, because she has a petition, guys, that you guys, as parents, you guys need to support her and sign the petition so we can get these things done. So, Michelle, I turn it over to you.
Yes, and what I heard, Bob, is a lot of what every parent faces. It's a huge violation of our constitutional rights as parents. I'm talking the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Sixth, the Seventh, the Ninth, the Tenth, and the 14th. All violated every time CPS steps into a situation with a family. We are not, as parents, required to live a certain way. Our constitutional rights gives us that benefit of living how we
Absolutely.
seem fit, and they violate that each time they come in and say you can't do this, you can't live like this.
And Michelle, I'm sorry, can I just ask you, based on the things I've said before on my show, such as culture, ethnicity, race, upbringing, these things are tremendously, different, and they're never the same depending on where you go across the globe. So these social workers, when they come in and they try to determine how competent we as parents are, or how safe we are, or do we have the right means to provide for our children, this petition that you have going on as far as accountability is definitely, something that they are afraid of tremendously. And
Tremendously.
so I'm,
I have tried to been gagged so far. I've tried
right.
to be silenced, and I won't be. I will continue fighting this for every parent across the globe.
Innocence is worth it. Absolutely.
Yes, innocence is worth every bit of the effort that I can put out there. Because at the end of the day, due process is the number one thing they
Violate.
violate.
Absolutely.
They violate our due process. Our children are snatched, our families are separated, all due to allegations that are nothing more than verbal. There's no physical evidence, there's no jury trials allowed in the family court. And why is that? Because the family court is not allowed common law.
Right. You cannot violate something that is our constitutional right and infringe on it based on something you heard, you know?
Yes, yes. But this is where most families do not know this. There's so much fear and stigma in the world. When CPS, DCF, whatever they're called in your area shows up, there's an automatic fear. And that's
Right.
what they prey upon. They use that fear, that intimidation, that coercion. And you think you're doing the right thing by cooperating.
Right. And that's where we as parents, like Bob says it a lot on on his shows. Never let them in. Mr. Davis lets us know constantly, do not let these people in your home. You have the right to not have these people enter your home.
Yes, absolutely. That is your number one thing. Never allow them. As I have told them, do not come back without a court order
Court order or a warrant.
or a
Yep.
warrant. You
Absolutely. And
are
most
not
of the time, they don't even have that when they come the first time and try
no.
to basically threaten you to give up your civil rights because somebody told them something, or they may feel a certain way about historical events or stigmas that are outlined in bold, such as abuse, mental health,
Mhm.
substance abuse, or DV. So
Yeah,
it's a societal stigmatism that we as the offending parents with either history or those things on the back end that are basically perceived as unfit, unsafe,
yes,
incompetent, or in my case, losing touch with reality.
yeah.
So,
And
I
see, like
totally
with
get it.
our current case, we have the stigma of being homesteaders, off-gridders, homeschoolers. And so that adds, they
To
are
that.
trying to find ways to incorporate abuse in that. When in all reality, that is our constitutional, our First Amendment
Freedom of speech.
constitutional right to raise our children free of government interference.
Absolutely.
So parents just have to educate themselves on their constitutional rights, which always
Absolutely.
trump.
Anything CPS says.
Yeah.
And they
And
will
if
tell
you
you guys anything. Do not believe these social workers.
know,
Again, you listen to your attorney and you listen to the judge. Those are the only two people that can navigate any part of any case, no matter what module you're in, no matter what court proceeding it may be. And when you get, God forbid, if you ever get to that TPR hearing, you better start working efficiently, a little extra than you already have been.
yes, and
So,
document,
everything.
document everything, every meeting, every interaction, everything.
Bob's good with that. He has his what is that? The binder, the big binder that
Yes,
you
you
talk
got
about.
it. My rule number two is called documentation. You want to put
Absolutely.
together a 6-inch notebook with tabs in there and organize all your paperwork.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I have a question that's asking Michelle, where is the petition and how can you sign it?
You can find it on Facebook. It's on my personal Facebook, Shell and Frank. If you can't find it there, feel free to send an email to shelllafrank@gmail.com and I will gladly forward it to you.
Thank you. And if you guys check my Facebook page, it's KAY Richardson on Facebook. I've also shared that petition because I'm a parent warrior myself and I did support the cause. So, parents, again, innocence is worth it. We must always stand united. Education and knowledge is the way we beat these corrupt people and
Yes,
these journeys that they drag us on when they steal our innocence, traffic them across places, state to state, country to country for $1. Everything is about funding. If your child leaves the state where that state is receiving that funding, that state no longer gets that funding. So the equivalent of pricelessness and innocence is equated to $1.
and in all reality, there is about $22 billion per year
Gosh.
that funnel through the system, all to destroy families, break them apart, children in the system. It is amazing how much
It's
money funnels
insane.
through.
Yes. And if the child is has any disabilities or any services such as mental health services or extra occupational therapy or speech therapy, if the child has prevented, like I want to say accommodating services such as IEPs and BIPs when they're in school to follow goals to us, assist with either, supports for educational, situations or transitioning to be in a social setting. So these things also play a part when it comes to the value increasing, decreasing, or staying constant.
Yes, yes. It actually brings the money amount that funnels down higher.
Absolutely. And the
I
longer these
noticed.
children are in care without, I'm sorry, Bob, I'll let you speak one moment.
No, I was
As
just
long as
going to
these
say. I
children
noticed
are,
we have people. Yeah, I
go
noticed
ahead.
we have people in the room, and I was just
Yes,
curious.
we actually have a Q&A like 15 minutes after toward the end. So I'll
Okay,
pick up on that.
all right.
But I know how you do your show. My husband usually he's on standby. He does that. That's his department.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but
I was
it
going to say
is
hello because I recognize some of them. That's all.
right. Yeah, and I'm glad that Michelle has a lot of people watching tonight. Thank you for the viewers. Thank you for tuning in to get this valuable information. Bob and Michelle, thank you again for being parent warriors and, just coming on and explaining to our fellow parent warriors they are not alone. They are not alone, and there
No.
are resources. You have Mr. Davis. You can call him at the number below. I should say, there's always someone there to take your call, and you can watch my show. I'm on every Monday. Bob is on 7 days of week, twice daily, AM and PM. He is dedicated. And then you have Michelle, who's another parent warrior. Can you just tell us a little bit about your petition that you have going? Like,
Well, the
tell us
petition I
exactly what it
have going
entails.
is for oversight and reform of the complete CPS/DCF system. It would require on a federal level people that are not into the DCF and CPS system to oversight, to view past cases, current cases, future cases, to make sure that all these decisions are based off fact, not
Absolutely.
hearsay, not coercion, not intimidation, not harassment, just pure fact.
And those are the things that Mr. Davis says. As I know, he spoke about a writ of quorum nobis, which
Yes,
is a writ that is recognized in this state, New York City, in this state. It was only once recognized as a form of criminal responsibility. But there are case law that I did come across, and if anybody would like that information, inbox me. But there was case law that I did come across where the writ of quorum nobis was, you know, it was viable and it was able to be used in that
yes,
statute to determine if there was maliciousness done, if there was, retaliation or anything that was inconsistent or false during any course of the case.
yes. And parents also need to be aware that at any point during any CPS or DCF investigation, as they call it, you as a parent, if you feel that your rights have been violated, if you feel you've been harassed, coerced, or intimidated in any way, you can invoke your rights
Absolutely.
and hire a civil attorney and take a suit up against that singular worker.
Now,
You
does
can
that
do
apply state to state, or is that something written for everyone as
that
a parent?
that is across the board as your federal rights.
And do you know where that is located? Because we have to make sure that, again, we are not giving legal advice. This is
Yes.
educational
Yes.
purposes, but we want to know, parents need to know where to find these things,
I
especially if
will
it's federal
post
law.
links for
Okay.
everyone.
Thank
That
you.
way they can go and view it and read all through it because I
Thank
have
you.
researched the gills.
I'm more than sure you have. That's why I said we want to make sure because I get penalized when I say things like this, and it takes a toll when we do family court proceedings and things are brought up that have nothing to do what is going on at that time,
Hmm.
but to make us as the offending parents look like we are not of sound in mind, we have to stay 2 steps ahead of them, or like I always say, you have to pull an 8 mile. You have to be in front of it, own your truth.
Yes. Yes. I will
So
go and post all the links and how they correlate with each state onto my
Thank
my
you.
social media. That way people can go and view it and read through it.
Thank you. And I know, I mean, we said a lot and it has not even been that long. And there are so many things that, you guys have informed my viewers of, other parents. Parents, the struggle is real. Do
Yes.
not give up. The innocence is worth it. And we get overwhelmed. These people drag us around like dummies or like puppets. They pull strings by using our innocence as leverage to corrupt everyone's perception of the person that is standing before them. I
Mm-hmm.
know I'm living this daily. And, just following Bob for 2 years, I've been following Bob from the very beginning, from the very beginning. And then when Mr. Davis asked me to be a liaison, I was honored. That man is amazing. And like I say all the time, I cannot wait till the day I get to physically shake his hand in the real. He has no idea how his platforms has motivated me and other parents to pass these messages along. How parents from all over the world connect through our innocence. How we don't use color, we don't use financial stature, we don't use demographics. We are moms and dads above all. Anything else is optional.
Yes.
And I it's just so much information that we as parents, research, get from each other, get from, books and correspondence, from the internet, from lawyers, from, clinicians, from therapists. We play Carmen San Diego 24/7, or I should say 25/8,
Mm-hmm.
because it is round the clock, nonstop. Anything for our innocence is everything
Yes.
in the world. And just in case, as usual, I want to tell my girls, even though they shouldn't be watching, that mommy loves y'all. All we have is each other. Y'all are amazing, and you are your sister's keeper. So, never give up the fight, parents. And I know we have an hour, and it's like we said so much. And it was like, I don't know what else to say, because you guys have like dropped some gems and jewels today. Like, Bob, you rock as always. Michelle, like parent warrior, like I'm just so glad that, you were connected to us. And we just need to keep passing these messages, this
Yes.
information. Get these parents to come on. Don't be afraid. Tell your story. We have to stand
Yes.
united.
Do
So,
not fear. Stand up for what's right.
I mean, I wanted to touch on something as well as accountability with these social workers. Now, when things seem to be time sensitive, or it may be, the countdown to another court date, which could basically change the dynamics of the situation, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Is there anything, maybe Bob or Michelle, you guys want to let our parents know about the journey and just the motivation and the drive to be what you are legally entitled to be by the state you're in and by the man above when he allowed that child to breathe life? So, it gets hard, it gets overwhelming, it gets extremely exhausting
Yes.
and tedious. But we are parents, mothers and fathers. And then you have those good parents like Betty Joe. She's a foster parent, but she rocks as well. She's in Montana and she is a foster parent, but she is an aunt also fighting for her niece. But she
Mm-hmm.
is a parent warrior as well. So, I just Barclay 54, she wanted to be here today but was unavailable, so we'll follow up with her. I just want to give you guys, the recognition. Miss Dorothy Cook, you are amazing always. So, just Nadine Munge, you hang in there. We are all here for you guys. I have a Rochelle Jefferson in the room. I will be following up towards the end with the Q&A, but I just want to make sure you guys know that I know you're there. And if I didn't recognize you, just know you're not forgotten, but speak your truth. Say,
Yes.
tell your story, get your message out there. And Bob, do you have anything for our viewers that, maybe that wasn't said?
Well, first, it's most important that I've developed these 5 simple rules that I constantly say over and over. And one of the most important rules is that you need to really get a real attorney, and a lot of you can't afford one. That's the biggest problem. So if you're going to take that route, you need to use a court-appointed attorney. But you got to be careful because these court-appointed attorneys are not trained in juvenile law or family law or dependency law. They're only trained in criminal law. They only work for CPS, and they're just, they're case loaded of 30 to 100 clients. And that's way too many people to be,
Overloaded.
um, falling and doing so what. So it's very important that you have attorney because dealing with CPS is like doing open heart surgery. It is very complicated. You need someone who knows how to
Yes.
navigate, and you can't really fight unless you do a lot of research. That's what I tell people. My rule number 4 is how to use the internet wisely. And
Yes.
there's Chat GPT and there's Google Chrome,
AI. Yeah.
and
AI.
they are
Yes.
really important resources. But it's very important that you paraphrase your phrases correctly, because if you don't, you won't find it. That internet is a resource of a lot of valuable information. It'll talk to you about all kinds of your hearings, and it'll talk about all kinds of laws that are taking place. Been doing this regularly for 2 years, over 2 years now. I have spent countless hours and hours looking up things. I got to a point when a month ago, I had a couple that started on Monday, and they had a child where they were being charged by neglect.
Oh,
And
no.
they weren't being neglect. They wanted to be careful of procedure that the CPS worker was saying they need to do. Their child had discovered very severe pain in their abdomen, but the doctor they went to didn't really no, do a thorough check. They should have done X-rays. Instead, all they did was sonogram, and see, X-rays would show you the bone. She had a gallbladder that was had
So the
gallstones that
parent,
were coming
the
out there.
parent was blamed for the negligence of the
Right,
clinician.
right.
Like, you
And
see how
so
unfair, like,
they were saying that she should have done appendicitis. And the parents said, "Wait a minute, we're not too sure if that's the cause." And they wanted a second opinion. Because they want another opinion, CPS tried to charge her with medical negligence. And that was wrong. But these parents, through me for
they're not
5 days
clinicians
of the show, we finally discovered what it was. It was a gallbladder. And they had her appendix removed, by the way,
for nothing.
and it was
For nothing.
unnecessary for nothing.
For
And it
nothing.
was later the gallstone. And so they have a lawsuit against CPS. They have their
As they
child,
should.
their 4-month-old child they have with them. They didn't lose
Oh
them,
my
and I
God.
helped them acquire an attorney, and they fought back. And the judge
Yes.
in up there was really shocked. This is in Santa Clarita, California.
Well,
So it
good
was
for you
LA
guys
County.
then.
It was LA County. So Department of Children and Family Services. So,
So,
but I'm
but
trying to tell you, parents out there, research the background thoroughly. Keep
absolutely.
documentation. Don't let them in your home. Don't talk to them. Don't open your door. Don't even,
Absolutely.
turn over your children. What you need to do is you
Get an
need to be
attorney.
firm about that. You need to know your laws. You need to know what you can do and not do. And you'd be surprised if you stand your ground. An easy way to get away from CPS when you're first approached by them is to tell them, "Is this a legal matter? Are you accusing me of a legal matter?" And the answer is
Right.
yes. Then what you do is you tell them, "Whoa, I need to get my attorney because
Absolutely.
by law,
Absolutely.
every step of the way of legal matter, you're supposed to have representation." So that's a good way to get out and regroup and get that attorney. You may not have one, they don't know. But you can tell them that I'll meet with you later when I get my attorney. We'll meet with you.
Exactly.
And
All right,
so,
Melissa. She says she
yeah,
fought back and won. Good. As you should
yeah,
have.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
congratulations, Melissa.
You rock. Parent warrior. Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to give our viewers, Michelle? Thank you, Bob, so much for that
Yeah.
valuable information and the rules that
Um,
I followed that have helped me through this journey of corruption. So you rock, parent warrior. And Miss Michelle, how about you? Are there any other words before we get to our Q and
I
A?
just want to jump out there that we are trying to push this petition all the way as far as we can go and
Absolutely, to the
change the
top.
laws and rules around how all of the system functions. I wanted to answer Dorothy. For my email, it's shellafrank@gmail.com.
You want to spell it out that way we like they know.
It's CHELLEAFRANK and I will forward that to you.
Thank you.
I also wanted to let any parents know if at any time you are feeling like you have no voice, you have a voice. And if you feel like you can't use that voice, message me. I will be your
Absolutely.
voice.
Absolutely. We have to pass our messages, Michelle. Absolutely. And make sure that if you are, confused about anything, you have Mr. Bob Pace, you have our parent warrior, Miss Michelle, and you have myself, as well as the law offices of Attorney Vincent Davis and the various staff that work with him. You have his platforms. They are definitely filled with valuable information. Mr. Davis has a school. It is spelled SKOOL. He has various literature on sale and on Amazon. Please grab these books. They have some valuable and very, very useful information. That
Yes.
man wears abundance of hats and he is full of information from beyond. You have no idea. That man knows his stuff. He has been doing this for over 39 years. So he knows, and he's an expert. We can say that, right, Bob? We can say he's
yeah,
an expert
yeah,
in child dependency. So we know that. And like I said, he is an amazing man. All of our parents, you guys are amazing. You guys are parent warriors. You've been through the trenches, but we don't quit because we are survivors and we live in survival mode and we fight every day. So I want to let y'all know out there, never give up the fight for innocence. Our children need us. We are their biggest cheerleaders. Be their voice. Be their voice and silence these workers with the condescending and coercional corruption that they impose on our children. Those are just the extreme etymology of history where these people think melanin or demographic dictates your level of competence or intelligence. So again, my mom is a doctor of education. She stressed education and knowledge. Those are the things that no one in any country, on any continent, in any universe can take from us ever. So, parents, we get tired, but we are warriors. We fight every day because we have no choice, because innocence is worth it. So, again, I want to thank Mr. Bob Pace for coming on and giving us his jewels and his gems of information. And of course, Miss Michelle, for letting us know about the petition that we are trying to fly to the top as parents because we deserve it and our children definitely deserve it. And they are both parent warriors and they will never stop fighting. So, the last couple of minutes of my segment, I do a question and answer. So, my husband is usually my rib that helps me out with this. So, Mr. Jordan, take it away.
Well, between you, Bob, and Michelle, it was only 3 questions tonight.
Okay, so there were only 3 questions.
But it was a whole bunch of
Comments. So give me the first question and the person it came from, and maybe, you know, either one of us could answer that. Listen, I don't need to be on Front Street. We all can work together. No question. Or there was a question that Dorothy wanted to ask. Michelle, you were saying that she was asking a question?
Yeah, she had asked.
Yeah, she had asked where to find the petition link.
Okay.
It is pinned to the top of my social media, and my social media name is Shell Ann Frank. You can also get it by emailing me, and I will send it directly to you. And my email is shellafrank@gmail.com.
Okay. Got it. Well, somebody was saying something. I'm like, go back. No, because it was in Spanish, and I don't know if they were.
There's a lot of stuff.
It was in Spanish, right? Let me translate. Hold on.
That's what I was about to ask you.
It says, yo tengo mi derecha de madre gracias a la Dios y de abogado de Vincent. Basically, thank you so much for the God above and Mr. Davis, the lawyer. So thank you, Cynthia Livingstone. Me encanta. Besitos. And that's any other questions, huh?
No, that was all the questions. The rest was just statements.
Comments and everything. So we want to thank again our special parent warriors for being here, Mr. Bob Pace, on Attorney Vincent Davis's platform. Twice daily, 7 days a week, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Miss Michelle, she has her petition going for accountability, and we need to fly this petition to the top. And as always, I'm your host, Miss K, for Manic Mondays with Miss K on Attorney Vincent Davis's platform. We are here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And again, parents, my message is conveyed. And as usual, innocence is worth it, parents. Never stop the fight. Thank you guys for coming on. Be blessed. Grace.
Okay.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last